Little craft makers. Today we're going to be making this cute, adorable little sock puppet. Are you ready? Let's get started. The supplies you're going to need are pretty simple and you can kind of pick whatever you want. Of course, you're going to want an old sock. Then you can just kind of pick things that might be kind of funny or silly to put on your sock puppet. So I've got pom-poms that we can use for eyes, we can use them for ears, for a cute little nose. I've got googly eyes here. I have different sizes of them that could be kind of funny. I also have some yarn that we could maybe use for hair and stuff like foam or felt that you could use for ears or maybe a little spot around their mouth. You're also going to need, of course, some glue. You can use either regular glue in a bottle like this, or if you have a grown-up that can help you, you can use hot glue. So let's get started. Okay, first you're gonna wanna take your sock and you wanna figure out, put it on your hand and see where you want the eyes to go. So just get an idea, kind of play with it a little bit. So I'm gonna mess with mine a little and see. So I think I'm gonna put my eyes right there, right on top. And I'm gonna start with the eyes because then that way we know exactly where the mouth's gonna go, if we wanna do like a little tongue, or where we want the nose to go too. So let's start with the eyes. I'm gonna lay it flat on the table and I'm gonna pick what I want my eyes to be. I think googly eyes would be kind of fun. If you don't have googly eyes, you can use construction paper and draw out an eye and just cut it out. You can just cut a circle out of construction paper and glue that on. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can look really fun and silly if it's not perfect. So I'm gonna take some hot glue just to make sure it dries faster, and I'm gonna put my eyes on. I think it might be kind of fun if I put the eyes on top of a pom-pom. So just wait and see. Of course, don't forget hot glue. You need a grown-up's help because it can be really hot. So I'm just gonna put a little dab of hot glue right where I want those pom-poms to go. So I'm gonna stick my first pom-pom on and my second one. If you're using glue in a bottle, you're gonna wanna give it a little bit of time to dry, but that's okay because then that way you can do it all by yourself. Now I'm gonna take my googly eyes. I'm gonna use the bigger ones so that you can see it and it's gonna be kind of funny. So I'm gonna stick a little bit of glue on the back and I'm gonna stick it to the front so that when I hold up my puppet, it'll be like it's looking at you. So see how that is? So I'm gonna stick that there and I'm gonna do the other one real quick. So let's get our googly eye, a little glue on the back of it. And if you do have a grown-up helping you with hot glue, you have to move a little quick so that the hot glue doesn't cool down too fast before you can stick it on. So there you go. Do you see it? Is he looking at you? So now we can do a little nose or we can work on the mouth. First, let's stick it back on our hand and see what we've got so far. He's pretty cute, huh? And he's pretty funny when you move your hand around. You can make him make different faces at you. So now I think we're gonna do the nose. I'm gonna figure out where our mouth is gonna be. I think I'll do the nose probably right about there. And it might be kind of cute to cut a little felt out and then maybe do a nose on top. Let's try it. All right, we're gonna put him flat, or her, and we're gonna cut out, let's see what color we want. Maybe let's do blue since we did blue little pom-poms for the eyes. So grab your scissors. If you're little, you wanna ask a grown-up for help with your scissors, or you can use kids' scissors that are nice and safe. And I think I'm just gonna cut out maybe a little piece. And let's see. I'm thinking maybe a little triangle might be cute. Maybe like this. So let's try. Kind of like a muzzle almost. Like on a dog. On a puppy dog. But we're gonna stick it right on there. So you can play with different shapes. You can do a square, you can do triangles, circles. You can even do a cute little heart. That would be really fun right there too. So now I'm gonna take my glue, and with hot glue you don't need a lot. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back, and then I'll take it and I'll put it right below the eyes right there and just stick it right on. And do you see how mine's not perfect? It doesn't look exactly the same on either side. That's okay. That makes it more fun that way. So don't worry about making everything perfect. So now we want to do a nose. Let's see. I've got all these cute little pom-poms that I think I'm going to use on top for the nose. So I've got blue eyes and a blue snout. I'm thinking maybe we could do this orange color. Let's stick that on there. I'll put a little bit of glue right there. Take the orange one and stick it right on. Fluff it up a little bit, and there you go. I always like when I'm making sock puppets to just keep putting it on my hand and seeing how it's turning out, and just making sure that I like it and see, it gives me kind of an idea of what I want to add. I think it would be really funny if I added a little tongue to his mouth. So I'm gonna do that right in there. I'm gonna stick a little tongue. So let's cut that out. So I'm gonna find a piece of red felt. If you don't have felt at home, that's okay. You can use a piece of construction paper. You can use a piece of printer paper or notebook paper and just color it any color you want the tongue to be. So let's cut that out. Okay, we're gonna make it really silly looking. So I always like to start, when I'm cutting things out, I start with a little rectangle or a square. I feel like it's easier than holding this big giant piece of felt and it's flopping all around trying to cut things out. So I cut out a rectangle or a square that's about the size that I want, and then I cut my other shape out from there. It'll make it a little bit easier for you. So now I have this size that I want, and I'm just gonna cut out a tongue shape. All right, see? So we're gonna glue this part into where the mouth is. So let's put it back on our hand and figure out where that mouth is. Okay, it's gonna be right in there. So keep it, hold it like this and grab it off your hand, and that way you know exactly where you want it to be. So I'm gonna hold it there, and I'm gonna stick it back in front of me on the table. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right in the middle there. There we go. You can use hot glue or you can use your glue in a bottle. You can use craft glue, school glue, any of that glue will work. So then I stuck it in there, and I'm just kind of pushing it down just to make sure that it gets nice and stuck on there. So he's pretty cute so far. I could really be done with him now and just be happy with that. See how cute he is with his little eyes and his tongue? But I think it might be kind of fun if we put some hair on him. So I'm gonna use yarn. You can use yarn, string, anything kind of fuzzy and cute, you really can make some fun hair out of. But I'm gonna use this. So I'm gonna pull a little extra, and I'll show you how we'll make kind of like a cute little pom-pom hairdo. So take a little extra and hold your thumb right there. And now just wrap it. Maybe about, really doesn't matter how many times. I think we'll probably do about 10, 15 times. You really don't need to count, it's okay. Now take your scissors, be careful because scissors are sharp, but cut it right there. Okay, we're gonna just keep it in a circle like that. Set it right down on the table and just leave it there for a minute. And we'll start with our other color. So we'll get some extra pulled out here. We'll take the end and do the same exact thing that we did with the purple. So we're gonna wrap, wrap, wrap. Okay. Remember, be careful with your scissors. always cut away from your face or away from your body, just to be safe. And then we've got our circle of yarn. So now we're gonna move this little guy over there just for a minute. We're gonna take our two scissors or circles and lay them together. Okay, do you see that? So we're just laying them right on top of each other. And then we're gonna cut off, just, it doesn't matter which color, an extra bit of yarn. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this around our two circles of yarn and tie them together. It's okay if you have little pieces hanging, we'll fix it in a minute. So lay this piece down on the table. You see it there? And then you take these two and lay them right on top of each other. And now you're gonna tie it in a knot. If you don't know how to tie knots, that's okay. Just ask your grown-up to help you. So you're gonna tie it really, really tight, just like that. And then tie it one more time just to make sure it's really good and tight, okay? As tight as you can. Okay. Now what we're gonna do, this is the silly part. We're gonna put our scissor in the loop. And this is something that you probably want your grown-up to help you with, just to make sure that you're really safe with your scissors. So put your scissors, you see how you have your loops there? You're gonna put your scissors through the loop and just cut, okay? We're gonna do it on the other side. If you don't get every loop the first time, that's okay. You can always go back. Cut. See, I didn't get that loop right there. So we're just gonna be careful and cut, okay? Now we have these really long ones right there. So all we have to do is just trim them a little bit. And do you see how it's not all the same length? That makes it kind of fun. Makes it more of a silly haircut than maybe a really fancy haircut. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of rustle it up a little bit and kind of mix those two colors together. See? So now we're just gonna glue this to the top of our puppet's head. So let's get our puppet. His tongue ended up a little off center, and I think I actually like it better that way. So there's our puppet, and we're gonna put his hair right on top like that, okay? So we're gonna use a little bit of glue right there probably. And boop, stick that right on there. And then once it's dry, so you'll want to give it a minute to let it really dry good, we'll fluff it up and we'll make it even sillier. Now that this is a little bit more dry, I think I am going to add that little pom-pom to the top. I think I like, let's see, I think I like the yellow. So we'll add a little bit of glue. Boop, like that, and put that on top. There you go. So what do you guys think? Do you think that you can try making a sock puppet? I hope this helps. I hope that you have fun with your sock puppets, and stay tuned. We'll be doing some more crafts soon. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'll be posting new crafts every Wednesday and Saturday, so don't forget to subscribe.